Diogo Dalot has told Manchester United suffering supporters, "We owe you the FA Cup." The Red Devils fullback was left humbled by their fans' reaction to their 4-0 hammering by Crystal Palace at the start of the month.
They stuck with the team at Selhurst Park even after the final whistle. Now Dalot wants to give them something back with victory over bitter rivals Manchester City in the FA Cup final at Wembley. Dalot, 25, said, "I'm going to be really honest with you. After that game against Palace, the way the fans were supporting us, it was almost like a feeling that we didn't deserve that.
After conceding 4 goals against Palace, a 4-0 defeat, they were still there, pushing us, after the awful game we had." Read more on FOOTBALLUNLUCKY for Lou Lewandowski agreed Man United transfer as he couldn't say no to Ferguson camper winner VW campervan or £40,000 cash alternative from just 71p with our discount. This is the type of thing that shows why these fans are special.
Every time there is a Man United game, they always think something special will happen, and that's the beautiful thing about this club. They are always expecting something special, so we're going into the game on Saturday to try to give them a special afternoon.
Dalot says United have no fear as they aim for revenge in a repeat of last year's final. Most read in football. Real deal Bayern Munich lineup sensational swoop for Grealish under ex-City star company checkmate major European Cup final descends into chaos after fans storm pitch and fight unlucky for Lou Lewandowski agreed Man United transfer as he couldn't say no to Ferguson all for one. McKenna offered quadruple your money contract to fight off Man United and Chelsea casino special. Best casino welcome offers, he said. They've dominated so much in the last few years.
They've created this fear factor. But when you're playing Man United versus Man City, I don't believe they come in with the idea that we fear them. How Man United could line up under Pochettino. Why Man United must win FA Cup. Erik ten Hag says Manchester United must pay back their world-class fans with an FA Cup triumph after their awful league season, writes Tom Balke.
United came 8th, which was their lowest ever finish, despite winning 2-0 on the final day at Brighton. They also came away from a miserable campaign with a negative goal difference, but still can win a trophy when they take on Manchester City in next week's Cup final.
The away fans roared themselves hoarse just as they have done all term despite the poor results. Boss Ten Hag said, "We have the best fans in the world and I mean this. I have never had this experience when you have a season like us, which is by far not good enough, that the supporters are with us.
They are with us in the bad season and in bad times they are there. I think also they know why the bad times are there. But we have to pay them back and we have to do everything to give them a trophy next week, but also for the future, we have to perform better."
United won thanks to late goals from Diogo Dalot and Rasmus Højlund. But for the second game running, Højlund began the match on the bench as United opted for a false 9, in a hint over how United will set up in the cup final. That was how they played in March's 3-1 defeat to City at the Etihad in the League, too.
Ten Hag added, "It's a luxury problem. Both formations can be a success because we can set up like we did at the Etihad where we were a threat with movement in behind. But of course with Rasmus Højlund in this form it's absolutely a consideration and a thought that we have to consider."
You need not only 11 players in a tough final but a bench as well. Højlund's tally now stands at 16 goals in his maiden season after the 21-year-old arrived from Atalanta for £72 million last summer. Reflecting on the Danes' campaign, Ten Hag observed, "It could always be better, but don't forget he had 3 injuries this season.
He came in with the injury, missed the start, then he got injured before winter and then he got injured after winter. So every time that broke his rhythm, and if you then shoot 16 goals for the first season it's okay."
And it's not over, we have to play the FA Cup final. They know we can beat them, we have done it before, so on Saturday we have to do it again. Dalot has been named United's Players' Player of the Year and now wants that FA Cup winners' medal to go with it.
He said, "This is our game of the season. That's the way we're facing it. That's the way we want to face it as well, and the way that we should face it." Dalot's rallying call. Diogo Dalot wants this to be the last time Manchester United enter a cup final as the underdogs, writes Neil Custis.
And he believes with the help of new part owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe it will be. The Red Devils are in a repeat of last year's FA Cup final, which hated rivals Manchester City won convincingly despite the score being only 2-1. Even those in red are not expecting anything other than a City victory again this time, and probably with an even bigger margin of victory.
But Red Devils fullback Dalot said, "You shouldn't be the underdog when you're at Manchester United. We want to be the team in the future that everyone thinks is going to win automatically."
So for me it gives me energy, because I don't want to be in that position. I've been at this club for a while now and I want to feel that feeling of dominance in every game and in every competition we play, everywhere we go. The problem is that has not been the case for some time. New 27.7% owner Ratcliffe and his team have come to Old Trafford to change that, and Dalot believes they can.
He said, "They come ready to go. They come ready to look at what changes do they need to do to build the team and put the team back on top." They had amazing conversations with us, with players and staff. Everybody knows that they came here for actual change.
To be honest, I'm really excited and hoping that in the near future that things might look a little bit different. That is for the future, but for now you are talking about a team that has just finished the season in their lowest ever league position of 8th.
Plenty have taken much joy from the demise of a club that under Sir Alex Ferguson dominated the domestic landscape and, at times, Europe as well. For 25-year-old Dalot, that negativity towards them and the mocking from the blue side of the city makes him even more determined to upset the odds at Wembley and begin the rebuilding process.
He said, "For me personally, it gives me more energy. It gives me even more energy to want to win it. The energy inside Carrington has to be okay. If they think they're going to win, let's see if they're going to do it, and that's the kind of push that I'm trying to give my teammates."
We're trying to build up for this game this week, and we're going to go there with the right mentality. This is our game of the season. That's the way we're facing it. That's the way we want to face it as well, and the way that we should face it.
The thing is, facing the problem is one thing, but solving it against a side like Manchester City is another. So how will United do that? Dalot said, "Obviously, you can talk about the tactical side of it, but I think it comes a lot from your heart, from your head, to be able to be at your best level, be able to suffer. Because there are going to be times when you have to suffer.
And at the same time, when you have the ball, have the personality to play, because you can play against City, you can have the ball against City. They are very good at counter-press, but you can still find spaces and dominate the game, and that's what we should need to do on Saturday. Without the ball, ready to suffer when we have to suffer, and defend well, be compact, and when we have the ball try to hurt them in the spaces."
Dalot watched on from the bench as an unused sub last year when City beat them. İlkay Gundogan had City ahead with the quickest goal in Cup final history after 13 seconds.
Bruno Fernandes leveled things up from the penalty spot after 33 minutes before Gundogan struck again with what proved to be the winner shortly after half-time. Dalot said, "We finished the game with that feeling of we could have won it actually, and to be so close to winning it and not doing it.
This season we have another opportunity. We're playing a great team, but with a final, as we used to say in my country, finals are there to win and not to just play in, so we just want to win it. It's going to be a top game for us and we're looking forward to it. While City may carry the weight of expectation in this 143rd FA Cup final, it should not be just seen as a free hit for United.
It never is with a club of their size." Dalot said, "There's always pressure at this club, no matter if you're having a great season or a season that's not so good. The pressure will always be there, and it's a final. These fans are hungry for trophies, the club is hungry for trophies, we're hungry for trophies, so we have an opportunity and the pressure will always be high."
Dalot is now in his 6th year at the club. His stay looked like it might be temporary when he was loaned out to Inter Milan in 2020-21. But he returned and rebuilt and has just been named the club's Players' Player of the Season.
It is that sort of fight which every United player will need if they want to be top dog again and not just underdog. Man United transfer news live. All the latest deals and rumours from Old Trafford.